Hey guys, how you doing? This is Brother Bill, and I'm out here by my garden today, and just going to take you a walk around and show you where we are for a garden update. We are pushing into 3 weeks now, and things are looking good. We did have a couple cool mornings that kind of didn't help the garden, didn't hurt it because it didn't frost, which is good. I know some of y'all out there in the higher elevations did have frost, and I sure hope your plants were protected. But anyway, let me get this thing going and I'll walk you through this garden, see where we are. Let me get you flipped around real quick. Okay, I'm out here right at the corner of the garden. There's my old wheel hoe. I actually use that, as you can see right there. I come alongside that cucumber. I just like using it. I don't have a need to do it, but I just like using it. But anyway, it's there. That is our cucumbers on this fence. And that is a pickling cucumber, as you can see, that's going all the way up through this row. And then next over to it is our corn. You can see that's come up. That's good. I went ahead and planted a row of some of those old bush beans that I grow every year. I wasn't going to because I've got so many beans in the freezer, but I'm going to grow them anyway. Maybe we get rid of them on the plant stand or vegetable stand. And next up, we don't have any peppers yet, but look at there, there's a little old, now that is an actual, not a ladybug, that's a Japanese beetle. But anyway, got that, and we got some blooms coming, so they're doing well. Right here is our rattlesnake pole beans coming up on this fence here, and I just stepped into an ant hill. Look at that. I got it moved. Look at that, they crazy. So I've got to do something about that. It was actually over there in that corner. I dug way down and burned them out, but you can see what they did. They survived, and they come back out this way. But at least they're out of the garden. So that's good. Over here on the other side of this fence is some white half runners. And then I went ahead and put a row. You see these T-posts here in the middle between the tomato plants. That is a row of greasy beans, an old Appalachian bean, and I'm pretty excited about that because it's hard for me to find them, the real deal bean. So I did find them this year, so I went ahead and planted that between the tomato rows. And tomatoes are looking good. Actually, I need to probably go ahead and get out here and run my first line because they're looking really good. It's kind of like that all the way down through there. I did lose one out of all those tomatoes. Originally I had lost 3. I replaced the 3, and then for whatever reason I lost one there. So a total of 4 tomato plants out of 100 that I ended up losing. That's not too bad. We can deal with that. Now there's a different varieties coming through there. Empires, celebrities, some better boys, some early girls, and then I've got some indeterminate large cherry tomatoes out there. And I'm going to put some more tomatoes out here that are called the golden sunray or just sunray, and that's the little yellow tomatoes, and they're like a cherry tomato. But anyway, I do got another row of corn. As you can see, I'm starting to get some weeds in there. So there'll be some hoe work coming out here this week. I've got a busy week at work this week, so hopefully I'll find the time to get out here and get that done before that takes over. The white McCaslin beans, they're sporadic right now. I'm not sure what's going on. I did do a replant yesterday out there to hopefully get some beans coming up there. Next off, we've got a row of corn, another row of corn, and then we've got 2 rows of okra here and here, and all that looks great right now. Real pleased with that. And then I've got a row of mounds out here, and you'll see we've got cucumbers most of the way down, and then it goes into some butternut squash, spaghetti squash, and cantaloupe in that row. And then the last row here is another row of corn. And this corn out here is the sweet ambrosia corn. Now I'm looking here. It looks like I've got some more okra. Maybe that's some okra that just fell. Probably some seed. See, that's an okra plant. I don't think I planted a row of okra out here. I don't know. I don't think so. But let me walk you to the back of the garden. And back here, I planted some watermelon. And I think those are doing well. I think I did end up losing one. And I'm out here looking at these cantaloupe too. That cold weather hurt them pretty bad. They don't like that cold weather. And it looks like I'm gonna have to replace 3. So, but that's okay. That's why I seed start a lot of stuff. And get extras. That way, in case that stuff does happen, I can come back out here and replant. All right, now this is just a small plot. Over here on this row is a row of that ornamental corn or Indian corn. I've got one here, and I've got one on the other side over there. And then under the tarp, I do the tarp because of the weeds. It's hard to get in here and weed between those vines on watermelon. So if I can at least keep the weeds out of the middle portion, that's helpful. And there we go. That's those watermelon plants. They look good. They seem to do okay during that cold spell. And you can see right there, I lost one. So I've got 6 that are doing good, and then I've got to replace that one, which is actually at about the same growth. And I'll just come out here and transplant that. All right, I'm gonna put you on pause and get you over there to the raised beds. Hold on just a second. Okay, I stopped, guys. I'm back out here at the raised beds, but just before the raised beds, you're looking at some bones. This is my old compost pile. I kind of cleaned it out, and there's all kinds of bones in there. You can see, looks like a raccoon head and old chicken body, and there's no telling whatever dies around here is going in here. That's where I've been putting it over the last several years. But anyway, what's cool about a garden is sometimes you'll have volunteers come up, and I'm gonna let this grow. This looks like a zucchini plant. We're just gonna see what happens. I actually took what's left out of that compost and put some potatoes in there, and you can see I've got a potato plant coming up along with a volunteer zucchini plant there. So we're just gonna, as that comes up, I'll just add more compost to it and cover those plants up and just see what happens here. But anyway, this first bed here beside the garden, you can see is onions. I've got some work to do out here. I've been kind of holding off. As you can see, it's trying to boat on me and produce those seeds, and I'll just come through and pop them off. That way all the energy goes back into the bulb. But I need to get in here. Now a lot of these onions were left over from last year. I did come back in here and replant some, but most of this is leftovers. And you can see right here, see they're too far down, and they need to be dug out around that bulb to give them a chance to grow. But most of this right here, this particular bed, is going to be for dehydrated green onions. I'll just take these and cut them up, put them in the dehydrator, and crumble them up, and put them in some shaker containers, Ziploc bags or something like that, and preserve that, and that'll be good for an onion powder. I don't expect to grow any bulbs necessarily out of this, although they will grow some, and I'll use that as well, but primarily I'm just growing it for the green onion powder. Okay, over this next bed, this is actually a potato bed in the middle. I did have some leftover potatoes. I don't see any plants coming up yet, but what I did, I put them in the middle here of this bed, and what I'm going to do is take from the sides, each side, and then cover those plants as they come up, and they should do okay. And also you'll see I've got some more volunteers coming up. We're just going to let it grow. And if a plant wants to grow, we're just going to let it grow. Now this is the thing about compost. There's another bone. Looks like a squirrel hind leg. I don't know. Anyway, and we'll just let that stay there too. This next bed, this is all volunteer also. I did not plant this lettuce. I'm not sure how it got here. I guess the birds carried it. I don't know the seed. I did grow some lettuce up on the top there near the house. So they could have just dropped it over here, don't know. But we do got some cucumbers growing. Now this used to be my potato bed. This is an old potato from last year and the plant's growing, so we'll just see what happens. But look right here. See, I've got a lot of work going on out here that's going to have to be taken care of. I've got some kind of bug problem out here, so I need to look in that a little closer, find out what's going on with that. And I got some more cucumbers right here too. But we'll take that and feed that to the chickens or the rabbits or whatever. So that won't go to waste. Now these onions around this border here, I definitely will try to attempt to grow some nice sized onions. Again, I will come out here like this. And this ain't too terrible. And all they need to do is just be sitting on top of the surface. And I'll come back through and follow up with some nitrogen. I've got a lot of rabbit manure right now, so I will load it down with rabbit manure around these bulbs. But I've planted some tomatoes in this bed too. I like to use the whole bed. I don't want just a couple plants in a bed. These are 4 foot by 8s that you're looking at. And what I did is put stakes every 2 tomatoes in here, and I'll just run a weave around here. But I've got work to do like this right here. You'll see these lower leaves need to be pulled off, and the suckers as well. And I'm going to find a plant up there closer to the house that's bigger, and we're going to run some, pull some sucker leaves off there, throw them in a jar, and we'll watch that and keep an eye on that and see how they do, because you can grow more tomatoes off of these sucker leaves. Right here is 4 indeterminate plants in this next bed. This is again another 4 by 8. These are those large cherries, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, that's the 4 large cherries. This bed right here, I didn't intentionally plant anything, but you're looking at 2 squash plants or maybe 2 zucchini plants that are volunteer. And this is some leftover spinach. The animals don't get that. I'll eat that myself and put that in my salads. Here is 6 new asparagus plants. I've got them buried pretty deep there, and it's loaded with the compost that we had. I guess I need to clean that out because you can see a jawbone over there, and that looks like a raccoon jaw. But anyway, if you're going to compost dead animals, you're going to run into that. So I'll just dig that out. But this is 6 asparagus plants. Don't expect them to really do anything this year, but they're there. And this is a carrot bed. This is a 4 by 4, and they're doing real well. So that will all go toward the rabbits. I don't eat carrots. I never have liked them. Tried them, just don't like them. But they're doing well. And this next bed is another 4 by 4. I've got 6 tomato plants in here. And then this next 4 by 4 is some sugar snap peas, and they're doing well too. And it looks like they're just, well, they are blooming. So that cold snap actually helped them do well. And again, behind it is another 4 by 4, and we've got 6 tomato plants here as well. And right here you're looking at some radishes, and you can see the bug damage. I'm not sure what's getting this, but you kind of see it throughout, kind of spotty here and there kind of thing. But do got some bug problems, so we're going to have to look at that. So I'm going to pause you again, walk you up to the house, and we'll give you an update on Gracie's garden up there. Just a second. All right, guys, I'm at the beginning here, leading up to Gracie's beds, and you're looking at another 4 by 8 raised bed, and I've got some cabbages in there, some broccoli, and the whole border is onions. I did throw in a couple tomato plants I had extra in there. As you can see, that's an indeterminate, so it'll grow way on up and over. But I want to show you something here. I'm not sure why it did this, but this broccoli bolted on me. It could have been because we did have some highs in the 80s there. Not sure, but what I'm not understanding is the head growth. Very little head growth in this, and I'm not sure why that is. So that's another thing I need to look into and find out what's going on there. This little round container raised bed is 4 tomato plants, and I'm not even sure what these are. They may be the Cherokee purples, but I can tell how they're growing. They're definitely not an Empire or a Celebrity or a Better Boy, the way they're bushing out. It almost kind of looks like a Rutgers too, so I don't know. Sometimes when you get seeds, it's not what you pay for it, so I don't know. It's awful bushy, so it could be a Rutgers. I don't know. We'll see. And a Cherokee purple, because they do that as well. Next over, I got a couple tomato plants, and then I need to put something in this bed. I got some leftover onions again from last year that I just leave them out here because those greens on there are valuable. You can use those in your cooking. And over here are those seedlings I was telling you about that I started with the watermelon. I got a tray of sunflowers that I'll plant. Real excited about these right here. These are the sun rays I was talking about. They got to get quite a bit bigger there before I put them in the ground. But I got some more cantaloupes here, some watermelon, looks like some squash going too. So anyway, we'll put those in the ground when they get a little bigger. And then here we've got some more sunflowers. I love sunflowers. I just do. So we'll have them all over the place. And then over there close to the greenhouse is my tray of corn. And I always do at least one tray of corn. I think there's 60 in that tray or somewhere around that number. And sometimes your corn will be spotty in the row. And I just take those out there and fill in the spots. So I have a full run. Here is another bed of broccoli. This is actually a 3x6, I think. And then another, no, it's a 4x6. And then next to it is a bed of cabbage that seems to be doing okay. And I've got these onions all around the borders here as well. And that seems to be doing good. That's another 4x8. Next to it is 4 more tomato plants. I know these are celebrities and they should do well. And again, more onions around the border. Can't have enough onions, I don't believe. Now you're looking at, this is Gracie's garden. Did replace these beds this year. Actually, before the season started, got those all built and put in place. But here is her flower bed. We'll have zinnias and marigolds and whatever else we can throw in there. And out front here, all this greenery, I don't even know what that is. I have no idea. But we're going to let it grow and see what it is. And this over here is another little bed of lettuce. And I actually did put that in the ground. So when it went to seed, the birds could have carried that off and put that in that other one. And then next to the beds are these 4 blueberry bushes. They are doing well. They're loaded. So I'm pretty excited about this. I did put a little net over top. I don't know if you can see that. Try to keep the birds out of there. Hopefully it will. It did last year. And then as we walk up here to the right here, we got tomatoes. And again, more onions. We've actually got some tomatoes growing. That's exciting. We got some fruitage. And then next to it, this is squash plants. And I've bordered this one with radishes and onions. I haven't done that before, but we're trying it. We'll see what happens. And then up through here, I had some leftover wood. So this is a 2x2. And I put more onions in there. And it looks like a volunteer tomato plant's come up and a volunteer pumpkin. Looks like we got a pumpkin going there. So that's cool. That's always exciting too. And then up there to the right that you're looking at, we got more tomato plants and more onions. Go figure. And then next over here, we got strawberries. and we've already got the strawberries. So that's exciting too. Now Daisy dog, Gracie's little dog, she likes to come out here first thing in the morning and steal her a couple of strawberries. I don't know why she likes strawberries, but she does. And here's another volunteer. Excited about this. That is a pumpkin plant. So it's in the mulch. It decided to grow by itself, so we're just going to let that go. This thing is going to run all the way over here to our compost area. It'll probably run back over here out into the yard probably. I don't know. But we're going to let it go. There's our new cow planter. Everybody that sees that kind of thinks that's cool. That's Gracie's little cow planter. And a bed over here. More radishes around the border with some cucumbers. And then over here we got some more cucumbers also. Cucumbers is the thing. We want plenty of cucumbers because we like our pickles. And then we got some marigolds in the planter there. Old tree log that's cut there, and there with some marigolds. And you're up here at the chicken coop. Everything actually flows from this coop. My whole systems and processes start here. Everything comes from here, and it flows down to here and then on down that way. So that was my idea whenever I got this set up, to make it easy for myself so I don't forget things, because if you get a pattern going, if something's out of order, it's easy to see, and I wanted to put my eyes and hands on things if I can. But anyway, that's where we are. Things are looking great, and that's the first garden update. Probably do another one in a couple of weeks. I hope I didn't bore you too much, but I hope your gardens are doing well, and I hope you have a great harvest this year. So until next time, y'all take care.